Shama, morning.
Morning,
Oh
good
well,
evening,
when you
good
get to my
evening,
age,
good
when
night.
you get
Oh,
to my
but you're right. It could be morning somewhere. It could be morning somewhere.
yeah,
How
morning
are you,
somewhere.
prime time?
I am doing great. I'm so excited. Today is Wednesday, and we're gonna do what we do for the people every Wednesday.
Amen. Amen.
So, yes.
Amen. Yes.
I don't know. We report earlier this week on the earthquake in Jamaica. I'm so
And
excited.
thank God there were no casualties. There was
None,
some
none,
some,
none.
some damage to buildings and such, but
Right.
thank God there were no casualties.
Yeah, that is actually a good report right there. But I'm excited today. I might
Mhm.
not show it on my face, but I'm excited for numerous reasons. Number one, we have an excited guest today. Very, very, very excited.
We have a decorated doctor that's coming in our midst. And let me tell you something, it is truly a hot topic. Um,
I,
he
I
specialized in mental health, and I am so happy that he is going to be here having a discussion with us. But what is our topic, though, Prime Time?
oh my God, I thought you were the one that created all this the topic. Anyway, living a life of service is the
Yes,
topic today, and
living a life of
we
service.
will have that very young guy
Mhm,
from Jamaica who come
mhm,
from humble beginnings and
mhm,
make something of his life. And you know what I like about the show is that we always try to meet the objective and it worked.
mhm,
We talk about people. The intent and purpose is to motivate, and we're always lucky to find people that fulfill
mhm, mhm.
that effort. But before we go any further, we want us to play our theme song because I mean our people look forward to it. So why deprive them? What do you
Let's do
think?
that. Let's do
All
that.
right, all right. Charmaine RC
Hi,
in the building.
Charmaine.
Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. So I'm gonna get into our theme songs,
Yes.
song and then do our thing.
And we do not own the rights to this music, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Lord.
I know the mountains get so high sometimes. I know the valley seems so wide.
Hi, Paulette. Hey, sis.
Seems this
All
way
right. Big
it
sis in the
will
building.
never
Big sis in the
end.
building. Yes, man.
And you keep
Hey, let me have some
asking
original people in the Paulette and
question,
Charmian.
God, why?
Way back in the days.
I know the road it gets so rocky at times. I know the heartaches are severe. It seems like life will never change its tide. But
Mm.
there's an answer to all of life. Here's stay with God. In spite of what you see or feel. Stay with God. In spite of how things may appear. Stay with God. It doesn't matter what may come our way.
Mm.
There is only one place we are safe.
Hey, sis.
Stay with God. Stay with God.
Andy stood in the
Actually,
building.
and the sister in the building. Actually, I have
Yes.
two sisters in the building. Isn't that great to have
Mhm,
sisters in the midst that support little bro and of course the program.
mhm.
But I want you guys to listen out because I have something to share with y'all. I'm gonna share something. I'm gonna share something. Are you ready for me to share this? Sandra and Paulette and Shami and whoever is here, and I'm pretty sure there are many others in the building that's not saying anything. But I want to share something with you. So I have um I have a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, that went to a funeral this morning.
Ah,
so I have my friend, Lady V. You want to hear this one, Lady V? So before we get into, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting and guest with us on the show, Dr. Joseph Nelson. will be with us
Wilson.
shortly. Wilson, no, is it Nelson or Wilson? I think Wilson, Dr. Joseph Wilson. Yes. But Joseph Wilson, I have it in front of me. I just didn't look up. It's on the screen. Dr. Joseph Wilson. So here, check this out now. So a friend of mine this morning called me excited. I'm not gonna let anybody know it's you, right, Carlo? I'm a So my friend called me this morning, really excited to go to talking about she's going to a funeral and it's her friend dad that passed away, and she mourned and she went through her stuff, put her in her black dress and hat to the side, and big dark glass, all prepared, to go to the funeral. Went to the funeral and was a bit puzzled why the parking lot was empty. But she said, it's a small family, so there might not be much attendance. And she went. She said, Dennis, I gotta go, because this guy is good. Start crying and all that. So she went inside. So I was like, okay, cool. And then shortly my phone rang. It wasn't. It was within 2 minutes my phone rang, and I'm like, she calling me back from the funeral. Why I need to know all this? Only to find out the funeral is 11-1-0, but somebody changed the position of the 1 and turned it around. So the funeral is November 10th, and somebody thought it was November 1. And I went to the funeral and nobody there. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, were you embarrassed at all? I'm just asking.
No, I was not embarrassed. I was not embarrassed. No.
So yes, we are waiting for our guest, guys. Angel Flex in the building.
And nice, yes, I'm wearing the same dress when I go back home.
Hey, Carla, get to the first step. And she started to have teary eyes. Blessings, Neville Muir on WhatsApp. Reach out. I see you. Yeah, he's watching. Yeah, so Carla went to a wedding, a funeral this morning. But it happened to my brother-in-law when he just went to Manchester too. Acting like he's popular, trying to know people, and and a friend of his mother died and he went to the funeral. But the funeral was at Royal Flat in Manchester. So he don't know Royal Flat that well. So he stopped at the First Church and he went inside with his jacket over his arm, waiting for the funeral. So he was there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. Then he turned to the lady because true he knows the lady that died or something like that. He went all the way up to the front, just behind where the family should sit, and he was there sitting down for like half an hour. Then he turned to the lady, and the lady next to him and said, "What is taking so long with the body? The body is not here." The lady said, "Body? What are you talking about? It's a wedding." The funeral down the road at the other church. That happened to my brother-in-law. So, so we have all these crap going through. But anyways, I just want to share with you guys that we have a Dr. Joseph
Wilson
coming in with us in the next 2 minutes to talk about mental health. And let me just say this about mental health. I think it's one of the biggest monsters in our society, and we are not paying attention to it. So I want you to get ready to introduce a man. He is actually here with us. I'm going to put him in the studio right now. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome the big man in the building.
Yeah.
The big man is here.
Dr. Joseph Wilson.
Hi, greetings.
Welcome.
I see you actually looking like you're in a hospital. I see the hospital bed and all that stuff behind you. So you are currently at work.
I am actually at the evening office. I just finished at the evening office.
Okay. I must say thank you to take time off from your busy schedule to be a part of us. Yes. I'm going to have my co-host officially introduce you, sir. So just give us a minute. Get into it, Lady Charma.
Sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to have Dr. Joseph Wilson here. He comes with a very decorated background. He is the medical officer at Sir John Golden Rehabilitation Center, the evening doctor at Bethel Health Center, the hotel doctor for both the R Hotel and AC Marriott. He is also the family physician at Dunrobin Medical Center, and he specializes not only in infectious disease, but also the chief certified COVID-19 tester for Dunrobin Medical Center and Sir John Golden Rehab Center. That being said, Dr. Wilson has experience in neurosurgery, orthopedics, and is also has also assisted in several surgeries. Dr. Wilson is not only a devoted husband and father, but he's also a man of faith. And his favorite scripture is none other than Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Oh my God. And I know there's a lot more to it if we have time. But let me just ask the first question. How do you find time to socialize if you're socializing?
And do all of it.
And find time for your family? Do you have
always a question? Yeah, that's always a question. I mean, that's always a question, you know. I try my best to make some time as best as possible. Sometimes, of course, you know, different things that I have to do, but not it's not that I'm doing all these things all the time. There are different days, different times. Though It's like I'm always on call though, most of the time based on the fact that I'm at different facilities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guarantee you that I watch more movies than you do. Yes, believe it or not.
I'm not going to challenge you on that because I don't know how you with that lengthy schedule that you have. I don't know how you find time for movies.
Yeah.
But I want to get into the first question. I always like to hear a little bit about you, where you're from, and all that. But tell us a little about yourself, please.
All right. So I was born in St. Thomas, in the hills of St. Thomas. The time it's called Ross Isle. Then I came to Yallas St. Thomas when I was about 4 years old. Went to Yallas Primary School. Went to Yallas Basic School as well. Then I got a scholarship from Chicago, Concerned Jamaicans. To go to Kingston College.
The CCJ.
Yeah, so that's how I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a scholar for CCJ from 1998. During that same time, I won a speech award, a gold award in speech and drama in the country, in Jamaica as well. So I was on the scholarship from first form up until even first year university. So I also have another degree in pharmacology, you know, apart from being medicine. Yes.
What?
Yes.
You look like you're 20-something years old. Like
people always say this.
how did you accomplish all of this?
Yeah. So I did pharmacology. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So
are you still practicing in Jamaica then?
Yes.
Your base is Jamaica. Okay.
I am.
Yes, all that you read out was Jamaica.
Well, I know Dunrobin, but I didn't know the other places. Yeah,
because that's what you get for not being a Jamaican. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know that upset you, but the reality, you did not born under the clock, and there is no parish in Jamaica that you can
Dr.
claim.
Dr. Wilson, I'm ignoring prime time, and I'm talking to you, sir. So where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I grew up in St. Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, so I traveled every day from Yallas to Kingston College. Yeah, but it isn't that long as many persons will think. It takes about 50 minutes, 50 to get there. One of my friends, his dad worked in Kingston, so he would have taken us to school in the mornings.
Okay, so you have that.
Yeah.
Direct
Right, yeah. Until, of course, we decided that I wanted to start taking the bus on our own and all those lovely stuff. Yeah.
So tell me this: who was your mentor? I'm just curious.
During the CCJ program, there's a guy that's called Mr. Donald Mendes. So within CCJ, you are also given mentors. Okay. So from time to time, he would come by my house like almost every Sunday. That time he would come to visit his daughter, who is also in St. Thomas.
Mhm.
And he's always talking to me about many different things in life,
Mhm.
girls, everything, So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, isn't that great?
So when did you decide to get into medicine?
So my mom told me that since I was 2 years old, I told her that I wanted to become a doctor. Yeah.
2.
Yeah. So there was one time when I was in biology class at Kingston College that's what, fourth form, and we were asked to cut a transverse section of the stem of a plant. I think it was a callaloo plant. No, and to make this sample to put on the slide so we can view it under the microscope.
Mm-hmm.
When I cut my section and I placed it on the side and put it on the microscope, the teacher called the entire class and it's like, "This is the best slide she has ever seen." Because she was able to see all the cells quite clearly, because it has to be cut very, very thin enough. Very, 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 very thin.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know, and she called the entire class. So apparently there were 2 guys who were almost close to mine. So when class was finished, she wanted us to cut the longitudinal section. So transverse would have been cutting like across here.
Mm-hmm.
Longitudinal means that you're cutting now straight down now along the stem itself, which is actually more difficult. So when class was finished, she's like, "Can the 3D surgeon stay behind?" And from there on, it really motivated me more to show that I can really do a lot more than just the average student in class or even the very brilliant. Because my groups are always like the top stream classes that I'm always going through. So we have some very brilliant guys in my group.
Mm-hmm.
Many other guys who wanted to become medical persons, of course, in my original group. I think I'm the only doctor in my original group. And then there are about 2 others in my other group. So it's about 3 of us from my other group that are medical doctors.
Great. We have one of our partners in this whole program that we have, that our partner do the same thing. What he does is sort of like ask the kids that he have a program too. He asks the kids that what they want to become, and he actually have them dress like what they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And every Tuesday they are on the program, and he actually addressed them
Dean Roden. Yes.
that way. So his name is Dean Roden. So I think that is very, very, very effective.
Yeah, that's very important, and that's why I think career days are also very important in primary school and high school. Because sometimes I'm asked to give talks at primary school, high school, at career day, and when I completed the talks, I would ask them to take a picture with me, or take pictures with the stethoscope around their necks.
Right.
And you'll be very surprised. You see, sometimes, and I see this for
that little thing.
In general in life, some things might seem so normal and simple and easy for you, but when you do something for some persons, which is a way bigger thing for them, it's a huge thing for them, and it literally stays with them for their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure sometimes you might even see somebody on the road and you might do something for them, and for you that comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it might be something very small to you, but to them that's a very, very, very big thing.
Very, very big thing. Yes.
And it's these small things that make you become more confident in yourself.
Yes.
Because many children these times, they're not really confident. They want to become somebody. They want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But most times it's a lack of guidance and
Mm-hmm.
lack of opportunities that would actually lead them to getting these.
And support, support.
And support, definitely.
Were there any? Are there any other doctors in your family?
No, I'm the only doctor in my
You're the
family.
first doctor.
First doctor. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And talking about that, we are here to talk about mental health, and because I'm so excited to have you, because mental health is something that I've been talking about over the years. I think it's impacting our society much more than we think. When I used to live back in Jamaica, I remember when you see persons display signs of mental illness, the way they've been treated. When I think about it bothers me, and I always want to talk to somebody that in that field. But why do you choose that though? I just want to know.
So I'm not just involved in, I'm not involved in mental health only like that. As you realize, from my bio, I'm involved in several different areas.
Right.
Based
Okay,
on
so
my,
you did not choose that only. Okay.
no, right. But of course, as a medical doctor, you would have experience in different areas, and you'd have studied all of this throughout your medical school time, and then from there on, of course, if you want to specialize in that area, then it's a different thing. But I have experience with these things because as you recall, there's mention that I also have experience in neurosurgery, which I was an assistant brain surgeon at KPH. That was in what, 2017? Thereabout, yeah. Right. So
look too young to have all these experience.
so that is why, with all these experiences now that I've garnered now, that's why I'm able to do house visits so well.
Okay.
Because many times I'm able to analyze situations, and at the same time act accordingly, promptly, and refer persons, because you'll be very surprised how many persons go for medical visits from time to time. They're given the same medication, there's no change, and there's nothing done or no new test being offered to see what the issue is, So it's actually very important to have some background in these areas because it makes a vast difference.
Wow. So is it considered concierge medicine? Because I know here it's okay.
Yes, I do. So
you're doing that.
Yes, so I do that. Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
So I see a few celebrities, politicians, privately, from time to time.
I notice a lot of times, especially when a particular race get involved in certain crime here, they tend to call it mental illness, and different race would complain about it and say, oh, they create that whatever. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but do you think people use mental illness to get themselves out of trouble? I just want to ask that. I mean, I have other questions, but that one is
yes, and that's a good question. But first of all, we need to know about what is mental health in particular. Right. Mental health refers to the cognitive ability and skills to improve one's quality of life. So it's basically your ability to reason out, analyze, evaluate, create, and make rational decisions. Yeah. So, for example, if you're when you're going to be crossing the road, for argument's sake, you analyze the situation to see, are there other cars coming? So you also evaluate same, and then you make a rational decision. Now, should I cross the road at this point in time because there's no car coming from either side, or cars have stopped on either side? So that is first knowing what is mental health in terms of you will be able to analyze, evaluate, and then you make a rational decision based on what's happening in and around you. Now, regarding persons using mental illness, so mental illness, everyone has mental health, but not everyone is mentally ill.
Okay.
Yes. Just like how everyone has sinuses, but not everyone has sinusitis. Yes. For argument's sake. Okay. Regarding same, persons at times, I'm sure sometimes some persons commit some crimes, as you ask question now regarding persons claiming that they're mental and there's some insanity.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that from time to time, and I'm sure you've heard about this from time to time. But I recall once my great grandmother, when I was growing up, my great grandmother told me that she went to the court, and this guy, apparently I don't recall what he did, whether he stole something, for argument's sake. And the judge brought him up, and he's there, and they let him off because he plead mental insanity, as in he plead insanity. And there are many times in which sometimes some persons might even kill somebody or harm someone, and there is some rational or some way in which persons use these guys to escape. So there, and that's why I know evaluation of the person is very, very important. Because if they plead insanity at the same time, there has to be an evaluation of the person, and that's what there's something that is called a mental health examination. For you to ask the patient these questions, and then from there on, now the psychiatrist plus or even a psychologist would also be involved in all of this, because you can claim that you're insane, but when certain things are evaluated, you know.
So you're telling me.
But anybody can feign. They can feign that. They can feign illness.
Yes, and at the same time, though, I recall I watched a movie once. So because there's mental illness, which comes under the DSM-5 again, which is how it's called a diagnostic and statistical manual for mental disorders, which is used internationally to really categorize persons based on mental illness, and you'll be very surprised that apart from depression, psychosis,
because that's situational,
even anxiety, but all of these though they do come under some form of mental illness. You've been obsessive compulsive as well. That's also some form of mental issues as well, you know, separate and apart. So with that being said, now, so the person will have to be assessed first, and then they are diagnosed, because some person may also even have multiple personalities, you know.
Okay.
And so you're saying that somebody can actually fake it, but in the movie that I was even talking about, this guy, so he seems quite normal, quite fine to you, but then he has another personality that comes out, which he's fighting these personalities from time to time. And the other personality makes him kill persons, literally kill persons, and that was why he was locked up. So it's a very, 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 very wide thing when it comes on to mental health. Right. Because as you mentioned about anxiety, even recently, of course, we had the earthquake here in Jamaica. I don't know if you guys felt any impact from seeing.
No, we didn't feel it, but we heard about it.
Yeah, because apparently it was said that according to the post, apparently Jamaica, Cuba, and even some parts of the US was affected by the earthquake a couple of days ago. Now, there were several persons who were at the Kingston Public Hospital who were brought in due to anxiety and asthma attacks subsequent to the earthquake that happened. Yes, same evening. You know, and sometimes that's why sometimes when some illnesses occur in general, one of the main things that the government or even the health personnel try to do is to prevent something that is called mass hysteria. Because you'd be very surprised, you know, what anxiety can make you do, you know.
Of course.
And if you are an asthmatic and you get anxious, it can lead to you having an asthma attack. And that's what I'm down to these persons, you know. I recall during COVID time, because as you recall as well in my bio, I did COVID testings for persons for both assessment, treatment, and even for travel. And there was one time I just got home about midnight, and I got a call that from someone. The lady, she was close to KPH. She was just at the theater, the movie theater, about like 5 minutes away, and she called me saying that somebody told her to call me because she's not breathing properly, and she thinks that she has COVID. So I said to her, when I go to KPH, which is 5 minutes away in comparison to coming to see me in Portmore, that time I was living in Portmore, and she's like, no, the person told her to come to see me, and she's going to come and see me. So I gave her the directions, and she was driving, coming with somebody. Of course, it wasn't her driving. Now, when before she arrived, I had a paper bag, a brown paper bag on my desk. And for some reason, something told me to put it into the car. So by the time she came, I made her do some deep breaths into the brown paper bag. I did a rapid COVID test on her, and then check her oxygen level. The oxygen level was above 95%, which is actually normal. She was negative for COVID-19. What was wrong with her? She had an anxiety attack. Panic attack.
Wow.
Within a couple of minutes' time, after us doing all those things, she was quite fine. And she came in a vehicle with about 5 other persons, who brought her. Yeah.
That would be highly exposed.
Yeah, can you imagine? So you see, I say that to say this, that many times we can be so anxious, and then from there on it can lead to many different things. Anxiety can lead to depression, and depression, some person, because many times we see persons and we say, "Hi, how are you doing?" I'll just move on. We don't even answer when the person say, "How are you doing?"
Yeah.
Have you ever stopped to ask the person, "How are you really doing?" Because you'll be very surprised their response. They might be going through something difficult or whatever it is.
Right.
And we've heard many times of persons committing suicide of recent, I'm sure, young persons, older persons. Yeah. But I was spoken to somebody yesterday, and they might say, I just talked to this guy yesterday. So why did he kill himself today? And we don't really know what is really happening. And this again, depression can a person, because they see as that this is the only way to get out of what the issue is. And it's like that most time these persons don't have financial stability. Some of these persons who might have taken their lives, but just that there is something that they might have done, or something that they have come to the point where they see themselves as a burden to somebody in their family or even to society.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Question for you. In your opinion, the heinous crimes that's being committed, are they acts of wickedness or mental illness?
No, that would have to be based on, to answer that question correctly, that would have to be based on some analytical stuff, based on statistics, based on, if it's a case where they would have analyzed these persons.
Like all the mass shootings that's happening in the United States of America.
Right.
Every day we have another mass shooting. Would you say that's mental illness or just wickedness based on everything that they've been programmed? Shoot up, kill, all the video games, all of this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So based on what we mentioned before about the definition of mental health, cognitive skills to analyze, evaluate, and then you make assessment of situation, and then you act based on same. So with that being said, there can be some amount of mental illness, because if you are mentally well, then your rational thinking and decisions would never be to harm someone, never be to hurt yourself, or even to even cause something even detrimental to other persons. So there is some amount of mental illness there, literally.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you evaluate these persons, you and if you go even straight across, even the person might have killed somebody, hurt somebody, even hurt themselves or cause mass destruction. If you interview these patients or persons, there is a problem that they were having all along growing up. It is there.
Would it be bullying? You think
bullying?
bullying?
For example, even bullying. Whether or not somebody in their family told them that they are no good, and it's like sometimes some persons themselves even do things just to get attention. I'm sure sometimes you might even see kids do that just to get attention.
Right, right. Doctor, just give me a second. Guys that just joined us, I just want you to know we have no other than Dr. Joseph Wilson in the building. He is, I can't start, it would take a whole show to describe the depth of what he does medically. He does everything. So, doctor, let me ask you this question. Is mental illness, is it curable? Is it something that cure? Well, from what you said earlier, probably I shouldn't even ask the question, but yes, I want to know.
So it's based on what is happening to that particular person, because it is treatable. It is treatable because not everyone in general was born mentally ill, as you can realize, because there can be different factors. So once you fix the problem that is causing same, then you can say it is actually curable. However, most times we say that it is treatable based on what is happening with the individual. Because I remember there was this young man, his first time smoking marijuana, he ended up on Ward 21, which is actually on the mental ward here at University Hospital. First time smoking marijuana.
Yeah,
because what happens, remember that when you're exposed to some form of drugs or something that your body is not used to, and your brain cells pick up this, it can overreact, and in so doing, it can, as some person said that it hit a chip in their head, or the lick a chip in their head.
Let me just share with you the first time I smoked marijuana. I did not really follow it up, but I did it one time. So I had access to it, and I went to a little bush area they call Newhall, from the area that I'm from. So I went up in the road and I rolled up my little thing and do my little thing. And immediately after I take the last draw, I saw a policeman walking towards me. No, this man didn't have on any police clothes or anything. First I see the man, but I know this man is a policeman. And that, let me tell you something. I run from this man, and no matter how I'm running from this man, the man is just
he's still there.
And he is right there. And when I run up to where I live at, he was like walking towards the yard, and I run past the yard, and the man is still behind me walking. And I never forget that. I saw that after, yes. The man would never, he was just walking. Yes, I know.
And that's a good point that you made, because what we need to understand is that whenever there's anything wrong with you mentally and you react towards it, it's something that is happening within your brain. So whatever it is that alters the chemical balance within your brain, this will actually affect the way in which you perceive things, and then from there on, it actually affects how you respond to situations. Because you may be behaving irrational at a point, doesn't mean that you're mentally ill at that point in time, but something has affected your brain during that time. For example, when I was on neurosurgery, it was a gentleman. He came in, he met in an accident, and he was a loader man on the bus. For example, he was big guy, and he came in, and I was on call the night on neurosurgery, and I had to put an IV access in his vein to set up a drip on him. This guy is behaving boisterous on the ward, but he had a mild to moderate traumatic brain injury, because he had a brain injury, and in so doing, it caused him to be behaving boisterous, cursing, all kind of thing. And this is a guy who apparently was normally very calm, we had to call about 10 porters to hold him down for me to give him an IV access. After he gets the IV access, and we contacted the psych department to come and see him, and he was started on meds. The guy came back quite fine, back to him as in to his usual self. So sometimes it isn't just about a person having a mental illness in general, but some situations or some drugs, some trauma, a hit to the brain, whatever it is. Once the brain itself is affected, even a brain tumor can also affect you in that way, which can affect you to become mentally ill. So once that particular area in your brain that helps for example, if your frontal lobe is affected, that of course helps with your thinking, your cognition, and all that. Depending on which lobe is affected, and same thing can occur when you have a stroke. For example, if left side of your brain is affected, it can affect your speech, because left side of your brain controls speech, and that's why when you have a stroke, speech is affected, memory can become affected. All these things. So once the brain itself is affected, anything at all can happen. Literally.
Yeah. Wow.
So is it hereditary?
So, what's that?
Is mental illness hereditary?
So there are studies which have shown that it can be hereditary, meaning that it can be genetic. Let us say, so it is actually genetic, because some persons can have mental ill persons within their families, but it isn't that other persons or their children might become mentally ill. But the risk of them becoming mentally ill is more heightened in comparison to others who they don't have this family history of sin. But remember, though, there can be other factors which can cause it to become mentally ill, because there was even, I remember when I was on the Ward 21 as a medical student, when we had to go and see patients there on Ward 21. There was this gentleman, he was from the US, was doing, I think he was doing like his master's in university or so. And he was studying for exams, and a guy came and brought a spliff for him with marijuana. And that's another thing, because sometimes some of these spliffs are mixed with different things, they call them seasoned spliff or whatever it is.
Right.
And after his first draw, and from there on, I think he also got like some weed stuff to eat, weed boners or whatever it was. And he ended up having becoming bipolar. Yeah. So you see, sometimes it just takes one thing to tick you off, literally,
And it becomes permanent.
Yeah, because this he had been bipolar for like a very long time from there on.
So I know schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, sometimes it does not materialize until a person gets in their 30s. Do you see that there in Jamaica? Because I've seen that here in the States. Where it doesn't start mass. Yeah.
To put an actual age to same, for the most part, I wouldn't disagree with that point fully, because we see persons within that age group or even older, because but there can be persons though who are even older than that age group, which actually happens to. But the younger persons, of course, is most times due to use and misuse of drugs, which can lead to them becoming mentally affected, schizophrenic, psychotic as well. Because as I mentioned before, and that's one of the reasons now, because persons who are psychotic, persons who have schizophrenia, they might be hearing voices. That there are persons who want to harm them, right? And there are persons out to get them. Just as how you had mentioned that when you smoke marijuana for the first time, then it's that you saw the policeman, and though you were running and this guy was walking, he was still right beside you.
Yeah.
And it shows you how powerful the mind is, based on what affects the mind. Because when we were assessing a patient on the ward as well, same Ward 21, they brought a patient in the ward on the ward in a room, and he was seated in front of us. And it was about like 20 of us there as medical students, plus the psychiatric consultant there. And the guy was pointing to a section in the wall saying that, look guys, see the dogs coming. This guy is seeing about 100 dogs running towards him, and we're just there inside there sitting down quite fine. There were no dogs, and so the hallucinations, seeing things, hearing things, you can even feel voices, hearing voices. And with that being said now about persons now creating doing these crimes, killing persons, the voice can even be saying to them, kill this man, go and shoot up this school, harm this baby. And then now we are saying, why did this person do that? So mental illness is a very critical thing, and we have to literally take it serious. There are many persons though that you see quite fine living in and around your community. They are mentally ill, but you will never know, because what? They would go they're managed. They go and get their injections, their medications, and they're quite fine, But you see, there's a thin line between sanity and insanity. So it's a matter of what triggers off some person. Some person might be in a relationship, and the person left them, and it's like the world has gone for them, and they are tipped off, So there are so many different things that can lead to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Dennis, was there anything else you wanted to ask the doctor?
Yes, I just got I had to mute my phone because somebody had asked me to ask the doctor if it's normal for a person to like talk to themselves, if it is that a sign of mental illness or something? That's the question I just
All right. So of course sometimes the person that time I don't know if you heard this before. Some person that time when persons are talking to themselves, it's the first sign of mental illness.
Yeah, because
That's
I was
not-
about to ask what are the early signs?
That's not totally true. Because sometimes, of course, when you're analyzing some things and you want to reaffirm things, you might actually say it out loud or say it back to yourself.
Right.
So that's not you being mentally ill, all right? But however, though, if you are constantly talking to yourself just for no specific reason, and even holding a conversation with yourself,
Yeah, answering. Yes.
you ask yourself a question, answering by the question, and like several different things from there on, then there is something happening that because of course we are social beings and we should communicate with persons from time to time, and then again that can even lead to even persons, of course, who are even by themselves for a very long time, locked away, and that's one of the things why even in prisons, solitary confinement
Can be
We'll send you.
damage
Yeah.
your psyche.
But even
Yeah.
COVID-19, during COVID-19, a lot of people had mental
Yeah.
episodes because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
isolation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because and that's
I
why I
have
said
a
we are
mental
social
episode
beings.
too, that I want to
What's
share with you guys. I have a mental episode I want to share with you guys when Doctor give me a chance. So when he answered the question that was that just now about people talking to themselves and responding, and if that's a sign or not, I think I was tempering seeing one time because I was cheated on, and I find myself asking myself all these questions and answering too. So I was having a full blown conversation with Dennis. That's what one.
Thank God you're taking your medication.
A young boy 18 and a woman cheat on you. What you can do? I thought I have
Thank God
so
you're
many
taking your
questions to answer them. Oh God. Since I am only the is it a question? Okay. This is not for you, Doctor.
Is that right? Okay.
You have a question for me?
No. Let's send it to me, Dan. Yes. So, Doctor, yes,
Yeah.
I know I have to put my little comedic piece to it. So, so that's it. So those are the early So just share again with us because I was a little bit distracted. So there's some of the early signs of mental illness that we should look to, because in Jamaica, like I told you in a pre-interview, that one of the most common thing in Jamaica is that people have a tendency to see people displaying signs of what I would interpret to be mental illness and say all them want is some ratted liquor and whatever. And those are how we treat people in Jamaica. Or we go run carry them, go one man at St. Thomas saying that somebody had do them, something like that. Tell us, Doctor, some of the things that we need to look out for that we could genuinely think that this is mental illness.
So I mean early signs. So it might even start by the person just feeling sad or feeling down. They're thinking, they're withdrawn, confused thinking, and the reduced ability to concentrate, excessive fears of worry, extreme feeling of guilt, extreme mood changes of highs and lows, and that's one of the things again what would have occurred in persons who are bipolar. They withdraw from friends and activities. Like totally, withdrawn from friends and activities.
Isolation.
At the same time, they might even be thinking that there are persons against them. Persons want to hurt them. They want to hurt persons. And you see that we grow up in a society where, as you mentioned about persons thinking that persons work in Obia and all that too. That's another aspect of life separate and apart, but it's more of persons. Some persons even hearing voices. I recall, and from what I've been on this discussion every time it comes to my mind.
Mhm.
I was walking one day. Is that area that's called Papine?
Mhm. I'm familiar.
When I was in final year, I think of a final year of a medical school, and I was walking in Papine. I was walking behind this lady, and within the lady taking like 10 steps, she had a black plastic bag in her hand, and within about 10 steps, I just saw her tearing up on the bag, and just walking off and just behaving crazily.
Mhm.
You know, and it's like you're saying is that this lady is just going off for the very, very first time, you know, because there is a point at which there's a breaking point where the person just literally gets out, you know. So those are the actual signs, early signs, you know, person being withdrawn, and then again, there can be factors
I know the mountain.
which has led to this, literally. You know, so we have to look out for these things. You know, if the person used to do some activities before,
Mountains get so.
all of a sudden they don't want to do it again. And you want to, you know, for example, if you used to be going jogging with your friend, and all of a sudden the person stopped going jogging, the person stopped, you know, and this, you know, as I said before, because
and even their physical appearance.
Yeah.
Even their not really caring about their physical appearance.
Yeah. Not bathing, you know, not changing their clothes. Though there are some persons though who might be bipolar or so or who starts wearing like very, very bright clothing, bright lipstick, highlights and all those. Yeah, you know, so it's moving from one, because suppose this person
extreme
was
to the other,
more reserved, and all of a sudden they just start wearing something where, you know, way bizarre, you know. But sometimes though there can also be other factors which may not be mental illness the same, but can lead the same. If, for example, somebody was molested as well, and they can also become withdrawn. So there can be several factors why persons are withdrawn. So not because someone becomes withdrawn means that they're mentally ill. So you have to look at all those other things
factors,
as well. You know,
all the other factors.
You know, some person might have lost their job, and then with time they can't afford some things, they can't get on to pay the bills. You know, they start thinking of different ways now what to do, and then you know, for example, they might say, no, you can't go and kill somebody, you can't go and rob this bank, but at the same time what they're saying, then how am I going to be doing this now? How am I going to be maintaining my family? You know,
right.
So all of these different things can, of course, lead to them now start thinking same and then acting out because of their situation.
So, so in other words, whenever time we see people acting outside of their normal pattern, we need to give them some attention.
Yeah, definitely.
Cause for concern. Correct.
Definitely.
Doctor. Dr. Wilson, it was indeed a pleasure having you with us. And I must say thank you for your contribution, because you know what we're trying to do here on this program is to bring people, especially Jamaicans, who had come from, you know, I know, humble beginnings and make it to the top. That will help our students. That is a part of our program. And I must say that is indeed your contribution to this program. And I thank you very much for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you.
Have a great one.
I
hope you come back and talk to us again.
Yes.
And something else. You can talk
something else.
All right. Sir. Thank you for your time.
Yes, man.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
There you guys have it. The man after hour talks about mental illness, something that I have great concern about. So, with that being said, let us get to the beginning of the show, because we did not start at the beginning. We must big up a man like Dan Perry and the Rev It Up show on Mondays. We normally do that. And of course, Owen Speed on Mondays and sometimes in the week talking about education as well.
Dr. Francis.
Oh, come on, Dr. Francis. Dr. Francis is a case. That Francis is a kid. That's a whole
Super
kid.
Jams Radio on a Monday.
Yeah, man. That Francis is one of our I don't know how to
Mentors.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, guys, it was indeed a ride, and I hope I'm just hoping those information that was given by the doctor help you to, to answer your questions of concern as it relates to mental illness. Because what I'm trying to do is for Jamaicans to stop take people to Wobia man when they see people are outside there, now,
Yeah.
and stop tell about them need some rapidly. That's why this show is so important to me.
And another thing is, if someone that you're friends with them or they're a family member, and you notice that all of a sudden their behavior and their patterns are changing, don't just ask, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm good," and just keep it moving. Really ask, "Are you okay?" And talk to them. If somebody comes to mind, talk to them and see if there's any way that you can truly offer help. Because sometimes people are suffering in silence and not willing to say anything because they don't want to be looked at as a punk, or they don't want to be looked at as crazy or anything like that. We are not put on this earth to do this life alone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Really.
With that being said, we will get this upcoming Sunday. I will be in a total different zone to carry on our thingy, and it's when the meds meet the meds.
The meds meet the meds.
So
the meds is coming to Florida.
Yes, I will be in studio with the great charmer this coming, unfortunately, Sunday. Sorry, but I had to say that.
Really?
Good night, my peeps. I'm gonna end with the with the ads. The ads. I should have played the ad for next week for Friday, but I can't find it. My other device went down. I told her we need to get somebody to the engineer. You need to get an engineer.
Are you gonna employ someone?
We need to talk about that at the next staff meeting. We're gonna talk to Dr. Francis and see what he said, and all the other members of the meds body.
The meds crew.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyhow,
guys, thank you so much for coming and spending time with us. We really appreciate you. We love you guys. Share it, subscribe, get somebody else on our platform. Why not?
If you have anybody that you think would be good for our platform, introduce them to us. You know how to reach Carla, myself, Dr. Francis, and all the other crew. If just reach out and get us people that you would want to hear, to be interviewed, and put it that way.
And also, if there's any other topics that you guys are really interested in hearing about, let us know. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man.
Listen,
Chama.
Go play some ads because we got to pay some bills.
All right. Bills have to pay. Come on.
Thank you.
All right.
Come on to the Manchester District to District Reunion 2023. Come out and celebrate. No matter which parish you come from, all are welcome on Saturday, November 25th from 9 p.m. until 2 a.m. at the compound, 190-01 Linden Boulevard in Queens. Dress code is semi-formal. Admission $50, which includes dinner and music by Road International.
It's the official Manchester, Jamaica District to District Reunion dance. Music by the award-winning Road International with yours truly, DJ Roy and Stretch at the control.
And DJ Bandit. For tickets and info, contact Pamela at 347-336-7761. And follow on IG and Facebook at Progress 1919.
This is Pamela, looking forward to see you all at the Manchester, Jamaica District to District Reunion on November 25th.
Ladies, it's time to put you on game. Get ready to unleash your inner fire with Fire Lips by Michelle. Our collection of high-tech featherweight lip gloss and lipstick formulas will take your lip game to the next level. Not only will these products transform your pout, but they will also keep your lips hydrated, giving you long-lasting sheen and a fuller appearance. Trust us, you won't be able to resist the allure of Fire Lips. Go ahead, give it a try. Get ready to fall head over heels for these amazing results. Now available at firelips.com.
Using Royal Decor and Designs. Picture this, a breathtaking venue adorned with elegance and style, every detail meticulously designed to reflect your unique love story. Immerse yourself in a world of elegance and romance as we curate stunning floral arrangements, incorporating the freshest blooms of foliage that reflect your personal style. From exquisite centerpieces to cascading floral arches, or floral artists will bring your dreams to life. And we don't stop there. Our talented team will also take care of every intricate detail, from beautiful table linens to ambient lighting and exquisite drapery, ensuring that every element of your decor is flawless. Whether you're envisioning a romantic garden wedding, a luxurious ballroom affair, or minimalist celebration, Royal Decor and Designs is here to turn your dreams into reality. Contact us today to schedule a consultation with our expert team. Together, let's create a wedding that will be remembered forever.